Hello, and thank you for joining us again today. I'm Julie Westendorff, a La Plata County Commissioner, and today I'm being joined by Tiffany Parker, La Plata County Clerk and Recorder. Hello, Tiffany, how are you?
Hi there. I'm doing great.
That's great. Just wanted to remind folks what your office does. So could you remind folks?
Absolutely. So the clerk and recorder is responsible for anything to do with land as far as recording real property records and issuing marriage and civil unions. And we also do motor vehicle transactions, which is just vehicle registration and titling. And then we oversee elections, so your local, state, and federal elections.
I'm sure that the clerk and recorder's office has changed your operations a lot to accommodate for the situation with the COVID-19 as other county offices have. Let's just start first with how elections have changed and what we look like going into the primary here.
So the primary is June 30th, which is our regular Colorado primary. And the ballots are going to be going out for the military and overseas actually already this Friday, if you can believe that. One thing I want to remind people, it's really important to remember that June 1st is the deadline to change party affiliations. So say right now you're a Republican and you want to go to the Democratic side, June 1st is that deadline. Same if you're Republican, you want to go unaffiliated or unaffiliated to Republican, any kind of change, the deadline is June 1st. June 8th is when those mail ballots go out for the June 30th primary. So I'm just encouraging people to think about your voter registration. Is your address current? Are you registered to vote? If you're not, or any of those two issues, just go to govotecolorado.gov and get yourself updated so we can get that mail ballot to you timely and correctly.
Can you just remind folks also what a primary is? We don't have primaries are different than a general election, and who votes in a primary? How does all of that work?
So a primary is a nominating election. So what you're doing is you're moving your party candidate forward to the November election. So for this particular June primary, we actually have three parties. So we have Republican, Democrat, and we have a Libertarian ballot, which will only have the United States Senator on it for the Libertarian side. So you will get your party ballot. If you're a registered Republican, you get the Republican ballot, same with Democrat, same with Libertarian. Now, if you're an unaffiliated voter, Colorado allows you to select which party ballot you would like for the Republican and Democrat. It's different for Libertarian. But those two major parties, you will have that in your mail ballot packet. You can only vote one of those ballots. You need to select which party you want to vote on. It doesn't change your party. It keeps your party the same. However, it is documented in your record that you selected one party or the other. And that is public record, and I want people to be aware of that because there is confusion over that. It doesn't ever reflect how you voted. It just reflects that, yes, you're an unaffiliated voter and you chose to select the Democratic Party ballot. That's probably one of the biggest confusions is people vote both of the ballots, and we don't want them doing that because it completely rejects that whole ballot packet.
Thank you for clearing that part up. Another confusing part potentially is we already voted in a presidential primary. So how does the current primary tie in with the presidential primary that happened a couple months ago?
So voters chose to bring back the presidential primary. And this is the first time in 20 years that we have had that. So in March 3rd was our presidential primary, and the ballot can only contain presidential candidates. It did not impact the regular primary, which the regular primary is going to have from like U.S. Senate, Representative, Congressional District 3. We'll have the State Board of Education, State Representative, District 59, District Attorney, and then your county commissioners this year are District 2 and District 3. So that's what you're going to see on the ballot. Not all positions have races within your party, but we're still required to place them on the ballot. So an example, the Republican Party doesn't have any candidates for district attorney, county commissioner, so you'll just see on there no candidates for this particular office. However, there is a race for U.S. Congressional District 3, so that's the only race that's on there. For the Democratic side, there's two races. We still have to provide the ballot for all the other races. The Libertarians have a race, like I said previously, just on the U.S. Senate. So that's all you will see on your ballot because they're considered a minor party. It's the same traditional primary to, again, move those candidates forward to be the candidate running up against the other party in November.
A few years ago, we also moved to a mail-in ballot, and this primary election will be a mail-in ballot. Can you talk about mail-in ballots versus voting in person and what that looks like in our COVID-19 world?
I am really proud to say Colorado is so far ahead of many other states. There's actually 5 states that are in really good positions to deal with COVID and conducting an election. Colorado is a mail ballot state. However, we still offer in-person options. And as a county clerk and across the whole state, we're asking voters to really, really consider, do you need to go in person? And if you do, we are going to be there. We're going to keep you safe. We are doing all of our safe distancing practices and ensuring that our equipment is sanitized. But we are asking if you could really try, and that's why I'm encouraging people, please use your mail ballot. It's going to be in your mailbox. You have that control of voting that ballot in the safety of your home and depositing either in a USPS drop box or one of our 24 hours. And I highly encourage people to use the 24-hour drop boxes. That keeps less contact for that ballot for my election judges to then process it. So if you can just cast your vote with your mail ballot and put it in a 24-hour drop box, which there'll be an insert in the ballot packet explaining where all those different locations are at, we would really greatly appreciate it. However, I understand there's circumstances where people still need to come see us. We have ADA accessible equipment for those that need that. And I want to make sure that those folks know that we still are going to make sure that they have that opportunity, no matter what, to come in and see us and make sure that they have that accommodation.
And just as a reminder, the 24-hour drop boxes for the ballots, there'll be one in Ignacio, one in Bayfield, one at Fort Lewis College, and then a couple in Durango.
We have the drive-through one at my office, which is really nice. You don't have to get out of your car. It's 24 hours a day and just drive through. And remember, we've moved. We're at 679 Turner Drive. We're no longer on Everett. So we're right up, straight up Bodo Drive. You can't miss us. And you can see the 24-hour drop box there. And then the county administration building has a walk up 24-hour box as well. So if you can, use those. And another good thing about the 24 hours is it ensures that you have that ballot to us timely. And one thing I want to mention, Julie, is after June 22nd, I can't mail a ballot out. So people can update their registration all the way up until June 22nd. After that, we can't mail a ballot out to a voter. That's the same thing for voters mailing it back to us. Don't mail it after June 22nd. Make sure you use a drop box so we can make sure we get it timely.
I have one last question about elections in this cycle, and that is the Secretary of State of Colorado has changed some of the rules to accommodate for COVID-19. One of those has to do with the petitioning process for unaffiliated candidates. Could you talk about that just a little bit?
So for unaffiliated candidates, they would have had the opportunity to start circulating a petition starting May 14th. That timeline has been changed. So the timeline has gone from June 1st to July 27th. So we do have 2 La Plata County candidates that are unaffiliated running for county commissioner in District 2 and in District 3. And so they will begin circulating those petitions. The law still requires them to go face-to-face and have to get those signatures. That did not change. So they are going to be doing drive-by opportunities and ensuring that there's still social distancing. If you are interested in finding out more information about those particular candidates and how they're handling that, give my office a call and I can refer you to their websites if you're interested in those candidates. And I want to make sure also, they're not the only ones circulating petitions. So there's also initiative petitions in circulation at this time as well. So they are facing the same thing where they still have to have that face-to-face interaction. And that's to ensure that the voter is truly signing that petition. I would anticipate we're going to see a big change in 2021 with how petition circulation is conducted. And I think that we will see some electronic options. Unfortunately, with COVID and the timeline, there was not ample time to correct it with legislation and with technology. It was a very tight turnaround, and the secretary was unable to do a whole lot of changes with the timeline. But for now, that's really just changing that timeline is what has occurred. So June 1st through July 27th.
All right, thanks. Can you talk about how the other services that your office does have been adjusted for a COVID-19 world?
Sure. So let me talk about motor vehicle, and just keep in mind, motor vehicle is, we only oversee vehicle registration and titling. We are completely separated from driver's license. Vehicle registration and titling, it is challenging for our citizens because they're used to being able to come in and see us, and we serve about 300 people a day. So what we have been doing is everything electronically. So over the phone, email, our Dropbox. And now last week we have opened up to appointments where we will allow you to call in. We can do VIN inspections and anything with a signature. So a lot of our title work needs signatures. We go to your car. We ask that the person brings their own PIN. We'll come out. We will be in a mask and gloves, and we go to your vehicle, do your VIN inspection. We ask that you stay in your vehicle, and we've been able to now fully do every transaction that needs to be done in my office. Vehicle renewals, I encourage you to use our kiosk up at North City Market. You do have a small transaction fee. However, you get your registration and tags right there and you're done. You can also go online to mydmv.colorado.gov, and you can do so many different online services. And then we also have the 24-hour drop box, the same place you would put your ballots. We have envelopes that people can put their renewal in there or anything that they need with us. And there's labels on the envelope and all of that, and they can fill them out, put them in the drop box, and we check that every 2 hours. My staff also is doing a great job with a lot of online or over the phone transactions. So many things we can do. We can do renewals, all of that, and take your payment with via a credit card. Now for recording, we are very fortunate in Colorado because we've been very advanced in e-recording. So we were already at about 70% of our recorded documents. So deeds, mortgages, liens, all those things coming into us electronically. If you are not able to do that, people have been utilizing the Dropbox, or we've been making appointments with people for large transactions. Marriages are still occurring. We've never stopped. We were able to get an executive order from the governor to allow us to do that electronically. So we were able to get Governor Polis to do it for 30 days, and he extended another 30 days. So right now the couple is able to 100%, we work with them over the phone, pay for it over the phone, and then we were able to issue that license. So I'm really proud of my staff for being innovative and figuring out how to do all of this, and then working very closely with the governor and the Secretary of State and the Department of Revenue to figure out how we can do all these transactions electronically. And it's kind of going to be, I don't want to say it's the new norm, because I absolutely miss seeing people. And I know people miss coming in and seeing us, but I think we've been really able to continue serving our community and our state the best that we can.
Well, thank you so much, Tiffany, to you and your staff. You know that I am a firm believer in the importance of elections and the credibility and confidence that voters have to have in our elections. And I know your office does a great job of bringing credibility to that process here in La Plata County. I've got no other questions for you. Is there anything we didn't cover you wanted to make sure we talked about?
The only thing I would say is my contact information. You can go to laplatacountyklerk.org, and all of that information I just talked about is there. You can go to govotecolorado.gov to update your voter registration or register for the first time or change your party affiliation. All of those websites are available on mine, and if you call anytime, talk to our staff. We are here 7 a.m. in motor vehicle to 4:30 every day, Monday through Friday. In recording an election is 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and trying to make those hours extended so we can serve everybody. Just please contact us if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. Have a good week, Tiffany, and hooray for some rain.
Thank you, Julia. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Bring on the rain.